everyone, I'm your alibi, and today I am here to talk about strong female characters. Let's see how this goes. So I'm gonna be honest, when people use the term strong female character on characters like these, I have to suppress the urge to gag. These aren't strong female characters, these are entitled. They did not start out nor grow to be the characters that they needed to be. And just to prove my point, I will show you examples of the actual strong female character. First off, we have Aleta from Aleta Battle Angel. From the beginning of the movie, she is exactly who she needs to be. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring in Rapunzel from Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure a little early because these two share a lot of similarities. They are both implicitly trusting and kind, but both equally ruthless when it comes to protecting those they care about. Aleta, despite being a literal robot, is one of the most relatable characters I have ever seen. She has so many moments where she just acts like a normal teen. She naively falls for this good-looking guy and rebels against her parent figure. She's sassy, at times overconfident, and has frequent emotional outbursts. Most importantly, we see her struggle and fail. Likewise with Rapunzel, who suffers not the loss of just one friend, but two over the course of the show. But despite their losses and their low points, these characters never stop fighting. This is something we also saw in Wonder Woman. Even after failing to protect Steve, she doesn't stop fighting. Also, I wanted to say as a side note, in regard to Rapunzel, anyone who has 70 feet of hair and keeps it looking like this deserves respect. But all jokes aside, the character writing in this show is amazing, especially for how well they play off each other. But that's a side tangent. Next up, we have Daenerys, specifically Daenerys from the books. I did not watch the show, and thank goodness I didn't. Dany is another character who is kind by nature, but is still ruthless when it comes to protecting those she cares about. As someone who went from the bottom to the top, she understands the pain of the people that she comes to free. She is a literal mother figure, caring for those under her with unfathomable grace and a sense of justice. Honestly, I consider George R.R. Martin one of the greatest writers of all time. I literally have no idea how he ever managed to write Game of Thrones, I just hope he finishes. So I think we can quite confidently say that all these characters have one defining trait, and that is their kindness. Even Ellen Ripley managed to balance this aspect of her character alongside her more strict and sensical approach to things. You can't have a strong female character who is primarily self-centered and entitled with only occasional uncharacteristic acts of kindness. But if you want to argue this point, we can go ahead and compare the examples I've already listed to Beatrix Kiddo from Kill Bill. The stark contrast is easy to see. Beatrix's defining trait is her ruthlessness, but that doesn't make her any less of a strong female character. We see her humanity and femininity through her fierce love for her little girl, as well as her once naive admiration and trust toward her mentor figure, Bill. And this seeming inconsistency in her character is not only completely earned, but completely logical. So for my final example, I have Bayonetta. If this woman does not scream badass, I don't know what does. She battles angels thousands of times her size, uses a large range of weaponry, manipulates time itself, summons demons. Do I need to go on? At our first look, she seems unconcerned with the lives around her. She slaughters the angels she encounters without mercy and mistreats her companion Enzo. But Bayonetta is an example of the character who grows. She forms attachments to Luca and a young girl Cereza, and fights to protect them. And I have to stress the sheer importance of these characters' femininity. You can't have a strong female character if you could literally take your female character and turn her into a man and there would be no difference. And all these characters have clear explanations for their powers. Aleta was forged and trained to be an ultimate weapon. Rapunzel gained her powers from the sun drop. Wonder Woman is a literal demigod. Daenerys is dragonborn, Beatrix was trained as an assassin by the best of the best, and Bayonetta is a half-sage, half-witch. Korra mastered all the elements at a ridiculously young age when it took all the past avatars years of training. How'd she do that? No reason? Okay. Ahsoka beat Maul when even Kenobi in his prime couldn't. How'd she do that? No reason? Okay. Psst. Do you know what that's called? A Mary Sue! Honestly, there's so much more I could say about characters like Ahsoka and Korra being at complete odds with the true strong female character. How they act completely superior to the characters around them. And even worse, the writers justify this behavior by degrading those supporting characters. In Korra's case, an example would be how she groundlessly accused Tenzin of being a bad teacher, and then the writers made Tenzin later apologize to Korra when he had no reason to. For Ahsoka, it was when she blatantly disrespected her superior, Luminara, by telling her she wasn't good enough to face Ventress alone. And then the writers went on to nerf Luminara, who should reasonably be believed to have some semblance of competence, considering she is a Jedi Master on the Council. Just like Kenobi, who was shamefully disrespected when Ahsoka beat Maul in a one-on-one fight. Anyway, if you hadn't guessed it already, the writers made Luminara lose the fight. Ahsoka saves the day, and Luminara profusely apologizes when she should have had no reason to. When your character breezes through obstacles that other people have to actually work for, and your reasoning for this is just because, you have a Mary Sue on your hands. And I want to add that the characters in my earlier examples never outright disrespected anyone for no reason. Aleta felt angry towards her father on several occasions, but she never tried to call him a bad doctor or a bad father. Beatrix, when meeting with Bill's father figure, who is obviously an absolute scumbag, does not disrespect him. She treats him as an equal and remains civil for the whole encounter. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video before I spiral into a never-ending rant. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss anything. Check out some more of my content, and I will see you next time.